The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell came out. This was a wild card Federal Reserve meeting. If everyone remembers correctly, this was supposed to be a rate cut. They were like, March felt early. We'll get the rate cut.
Yeah, we're in May.
You're in May. Rates remain unchanged. Rate cuts still not appropriate until greater confidence inflation is heading to 2%. But they said Fed to slow pace of balance sheet runoff starting in June. So that means they're going to keep the liquidity in the market, which is good. Inflation has eased, but remains elevated, and job market gains have remained strong. The interesting thing on the job market, there's another independent organization that said in Q3, the government reported, I don't know, like 600,000 new jobs. The reality was it was a negative 125,000.
Zero Hedge posted that.
Yeah, and they think it's going to further revise downwards. The job growth could be complete nonsense, which is a big gauge for Fed.
He doesn't think rate hikes are appropriate, but there's no signal of rate cuts.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, Kathys, welcome back to the number one podcast in the world. We are here. Drum is out today.
Yep.
A lot of great feedback about his dad and mom on the podcast. So glad they were here. I feel like they should do a quarterly check-in.
I really enjoyed the conversation. I think Mr. Pfaff gave some great context of what's going on in parts of the country that we don't, I mean, you may visit, I don't visit. And it's good to hear perspective. And I think it was not as like drastic as I thought.
Yeah.
Meaning that seems pretty normal.
Yeah. I also think he's probably down the middle type person. I can introduce you to some people that have a very different view from the same parts of the country. So yeah, I mean, I think like he also listens to this podcast, knows kind of, you know.
Yeah, and he's clearly well-read and researched about all these different topics. So he doesn't have an extreme view.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that part was great. I think the extreme views are coming though. So obviously the thing that's taken over the news cycle the last 24 hours, even 48 hours now, has been the protest on campuses.
Yep.
College campuses. And obviously it's just madness what's happening. Like just, it obviously has turned into violence, which is horrible. But something funny is happening also. The funny thing's happening at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Yep.
So apparently, yesterday, some of the students had taken down the American flag, tried to put up the Palestinian flag. A group of frat guys came and took down the Palestinian flag, put up the American flag. And when that happened, I think I texted, I said, this is going to be like the World War II picture, the Iwo Jima with American soldiers putting the flag. And it caught fire on the internet because not only did they put the flag back up, the entire student body around the flag started singing the national anthem. That's when I knew the college protesting is over. It died. That moment.
Yeah.
Because that was like a credible piece of content to just be like, oh, we're Americans. Why don't we have the American flag up? Today, Eric Adams go out and said, despicable that we're raising other flags. And so the tone changed. It went from empathy to just like, no, we're America. We stand together.
Yeah, I was watching Pat McAfee this morning, my favorite show on television at this point.
I don't even know how to find it. You told me about the draft. I couldn't even find the guy.
Oh, the draft wasn't on linear television. So it was just YouTube, TikTok Live, and, different things. So he's like one of the more positive sports commentators that I know of. There's all these hot take guys that just try to like do negative takes on sports athletes and sports in general, or whatever. So the point I'm trying to make is, one of his guys on the show, there's like 5 characters, right?
Like his boys.
Yeah, his boys. And this morning he was just like, I have one flag in my house. It's America.
And I'm telling you, that moment was it. It's going to change instant. It was a marketing moment for like just pro-America. And I think even people I know who are pretty left were like, you know what? You're right. We're America. We're going to put this goddamn flag back up. And what's interesting is someone then created a GoFundMe for that frat. It's called like Pi Kappa Phi or something, and said, I want them to throw a rager. So at first they put the thing, I think at $10,000 is when I first saw it. Then I looked 30 minutes later, they raised it to $35,000. This is 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's at $92,000.
So they're going to use that money to throw a party.
Yes.
I mean, $92,000, you could do a lot of damage in North Carolina.
I mean, I think, and if you look at the way people are donating $1,000.
I saw a lot of people, and I don't know if, I mean, I saw the names of some of the people that were donating.
Yeah.
They're names that I think I know, but I don't know if it's that person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they could be
common. Yeah,
it could be common names.
Yeah.
Like $1,001
Yeah.
and like all this different.
Yeah. So two things. I think.
Do you think this brings back patriotism?
I think for the weekend it does. For this weekend we have patriotism. And I think the two things that happened that really crippled the protesting movement was the flag moment, which happened. I think that's going to be actually bring a lot of people together. The other one was the woman outside of Colombia who asked for humanitarian aid.
Yeah.
That basically disgusted everyone. Like, you're a fucking bunch of rich kids at Columbia University asking for humanitarian aid.
So here's the only caveat I'll say to what everything's going on social media is. So I've been at UCLA the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
If you look on social media, it looks like a war zone.
Yeah.
I've driven through the campus multiple times.
I think you're going to help me make my point. Go.
And I didn't see anything.
Okay, so then why is this woman in Columbia University asking for fucking humanitarian aid because she's protesting at one of the most expensive private institutions in the world?
Yeah, fair.
That's why I saw memes of her face, and they said, "I'm gonna need 43 acai bowls, 100 protein shakes." It's just a joke.
It's a joke.
Fucking joke.
I mean, I literally walked all over UCLA the last 2 days and nights.
Yeah.
And I didn't see one thing. Not one person at the hospital mentioned anything.
Well, you're on that side. I know what side of campus is on. This protests are happening on the other. Literally,
no, but like I drove through like Charles, whatever.
But it's clear, there's clearly people happening there. Unless your mainstream media is lying about this.
I think it's happening in small pockets.
Yeah,
and I just don't think it's as widespread as social media.
Why are they shutting down graduations and canceling classes?
I think those are two. So Columbia, I don't have any insight in.
I think Columbia
understand
is
USC.
a disaster.
I understand what happened at USC.
Yeah.
They just don't want the risk.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's that they felt the thing about these schools, think about the security teams these people have, LAPD,
but anyone can walk into any graduation.
If they felt that it was a risk of people were getting hurt, they're not going to take it. I get it. So your point is that nothing is happening, but it is something happening. Like UCLA, in some pocket of UCLA, some shit is happening where kids are going after each other.
Yeah. I wonder if it's any different than like a frat fight.
No, I think that's discounting what's happening. I think you're wrong. I would encourage you, go back to UCLA and actually go and ask, where is it happening? Not saying, do you guys see anything? No one's going to do anything to the hospital. Go to the center of campus where those big fucking steps are.
I know, but I drove through those.
I know, but
that's how you get up back to Sunset.
No, but you can't see those steps from a car. There's zero fucking chance. We take our kids scootering there. There's no way you could see those steps. I think it's happening. I don't think it's not.
I think it's so. I think two things are happening. I think there's clearly disruption on major universities. I just don't think it's at the scale that social media portrays it as. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, and I think school's out. It's over next week. USC's done. I think UCLA ends in June. Most schools will be done in the next.
So like USC's graduation's canceled.
It's so sad.
What happens at that day?
Nothing.
There's no one on campus?
Yeah.
They just all leave?
Yeah, it sucks. And these are all the kids who didn't have a high school graduation.
Yeah, no, totally. I remember, like, I mean, USC graduation, obviously we went there, so it's like a whole event.
Yeah. I mean, it's mega.
And, you know, a lot of the frat and sorority people go to the 9-0 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, have some Bloody Marys and then walk over.
And then you have the main celebration and then your own school celebration.
Yeah.
Business school was at Shrine.
Shrine, yep.
And then the main was in the middle of campus. And it's like, it's insane.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong spoke at mine. Who was your guy?
Warren Christopher, Secretary of State.
Okay.
But yeah, what did he say about the moon landing?
We should have asked him.
Yeah.
This is 23
what
years
are you
ago.
talking about?
Or 20 years ago. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah. I think, look, I think the next couple of days is going to be really interesting because now they're just like police is getting involved. People should not be getting hurt. And that's on the school and the police. Protest all you want, but like, why are you're allowing people to hit each other, throw shit at each other?
What do you think it is? It's like, look, there's clearly people that care about and are related to people that are involved in these, you know, different conflicts.
Yeah. Like if you're Israeli or Palestinian, I understand your anger.
But why are random people doing this?
Because it's the thing. You know how like Mark Andreessen, it's the thing. They just want to associate themselves with a cause to have purpose in life. Yes. I think community, and we talked about this, we talked about this a lot, like community is incredibly important. And it's why I actually think like religion is really good for a lot of people because it is an opportunity to bring people together, like-minded people. And so with the religion kind of interest declining in America, people are looking for community.
Yep.
You know, like think about it. Like all the people protesting, they kind of look the same. Their way they dress, their hair, their glasses, their hair color, they look the same. They're a community, right? Like they're a community of people that are going and they're joining forces. The same as like a bunch of video gamers or people that like the Eagles. That's a community.
I know, but I thought this ended post-lockdown. So like I get why people just attach them to causes.
No, people, dude, think about it. Like, do you understand? Like, if you think about like,
but what's changed? Because like, if you think about,
but nothing's changed. This was happening 50 years ago. It's going to continue to happen.
Like Vietnam and all that stuff. Yeah.
Young people are looking for ways. These are the same people 15 years from now won't let their kids listen to profanity in their music and will send their kids to private school. What happened with the hippies? They got older. They got conservative. It happens every generation.
Yeah.
You just inherently, you're where you're at in life changes. And when you're in college, you're very idealistic. You're extremely liberal in general, because that's what we push in colleges. And so you have this opinion, and like it's easy to, dude, think about it. It's do you know how charged up I used to get at football games at USC? The anger I had? Anger.
Yeah, but that's sports. We have that right now.
No, but
you know how angry I was when Jamal Murray hit that game winner?
I was here. I'll put it like this. There's the emotion I had as a 18 to 25 year old for sports, and the emotion I have at this age, or even any cause. I've protested my whole fucking life too. I walked out of high school when they wouldn't let, what was that law called? Prop 187, where like illegal immigrants who are students to get deported, or I forgot what it was. I walked out when I was 10th grade and I believed it. And I think like in that age that you're at, you're very idealistic and you're very passionate, right? Like when you're 18 to 25, you got real passion.
Well, once you have to pay your own bills, it all changes.
When you have to pay your own bills and you have other responsibilities, we don't like, I empathize with everyone all the time. I don't have the bandwidth anymore to physically participate.
Yeah, you have certain things that you care about, like similar to me.
Yeah.
Like I care about one thing.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about.
Yeah. Like, and it's just the same. Like I care about, like, all I have bandwidth for is work and family. I literally do not have bandwidth for anything. I barely see my friends.
Yeah.
Like I don't have bandwidth for it at this moment. But when you're 18 to 25, you're looking for a good time. I remember when the Lakers won the title, I was running around throwing trash cans. And why was I doing that? I was just burning the city down for no fucking reason.
That's when the cars got burned down.
Yes, and I was out. I literally went to my roommate.
You were at USC then.
I went to roommate at USC. I was like, let's go. We drove down Figueroa, throwing shit, like just pushing stuff over. Why was I doing that? Fucking dumb. You just join in on the crowd. Oh, they're turning cars over? Let's go turn. I remember at USC burning a car. Someone burned a car and everyone started throwing more shit into it. Just dumb.
It's definitely dumb.
Why? I don't know. I remember watching a car burn at USC and I just threw something into it. Like, what are we doing? Did I have a rebel with no cause? That's what you are at that age.
Yeah.
And I think people are very passionate about this and they have the right to be, and everyone's jumped in. Now it's like,
yeah, the issue is, I think there's a protection of First Amendment, and then there's what people aren't understanding that are participating in these causes. Like, sure, freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want, you can post whatever you want, but you can't block public roadways, you can't block freeways,
schools,
you can't block schools.
We're at 98,000.
That's not protected by the First Amendment.
Yeah,
very clearly.
Yeah,
and I don't know how that gets corrected other than
someone posted the UCLA Palestine solidarity, and these are the needs, urgent needs.
Vegan food, I saw that.
Yeah, some of it include vegan and gluten-free food.
I just don't know where they were. Yeah. I'm going to go back.
Yeah, you do. Well, I think they cleaned it up last night, right? Because I saw they had like riot gear, police. I mean, if LAPD is showing up, it's there. If there was no violence, they would not be showing. LAPD doesn't show up. You were getting robbed, didn't show up. They're not like anxious to do anything.
Yeah, no, I'm curious because whatever. Let's move on.
Moving on. The other big news of the day, the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell came out. Super interesting. So this was a wild card Federal Reserve meeting. If everyone remembers correctly, this was supposed to be a rate cut.
Yep.
Right? March felt early. We'll get the rate cut.
Yeah, we're in May.
You're in May. And rates remain unchanged. Rate cuts still not appropriate until greater confidence inflation is heading to 2%. Lacks further progress towards 2% inflation goal. But they said Fed to slow pace of balance sheet runoff starting in June. So that means they're going to keep the liquidity in the market, which is good. Inflation has eased, but remains elevated, and job market gains have remained strong. The interesting thing on the job market, there's another independent organization that said in Q3, the government reported, I don't know, like 600,000 new jobs. The reality was it was a negative 125,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Zero Hedge posted that.
Yeah, and they think it's going to further revise downwards. So the job growth could be complete nonsense, which is a big gauge for Fed.
Yep.
And so the market first shot up and then just crashed instantly. I don't know what the hell happened in the last 10 minutes of the day.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's there was some talk that the Fed may have raised. That would have just created everything. It sounded like he's not interested in raising right now.
Well, he said rates won't raise. Yeah. I'm just looking at the market. Sorry, I didn't see it before one. Yeah, you're right.
It's tanked.
Yeah, it was up a little bit, but I think what he said was he doesn't think rate hikes are appropriate, but there's no signal of rate cuts.
Yep.
And I don't know how they think about this stuff because they're clearly not looking at, like, we have a few topics like Starbucks is crashing.
So
McDonald's is crashing. That's the U.S. consumer.
The Starbucks data was actually quite surprising. So
because you're a Starbucks consumer,
I'm a big Starbucks guy. The big shocking thing was 4% decrease in comparable sales. The numbers out of China, like double digit down, I think in China.
11% down.
11%. China's fucking toast.
Yeah.
Like it is bad. Where else? I forgot. I think globally it's down everywhere. Like
it's globally down everywhere, and the loyalty consumers are asking for discounts, is what was reported.
Yeah, and then Yum Brands, which is your KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. KFC down 2%. Pizza Hut down 7%. Pizza Hut to me is disgusting. So
that's fine. Pizza Hut's
Taco Bell plus 1%.
But McDonald's is the big shocker.
Yeah.
McDonald's is the global economy.
Yeah.
It's in every country in the world. There's, tens of thousands of franchises all over the world. And they actually have like a Big Mac index, how they track things around the world. And McDonald's missed big.
Yeah.
And said spending's down. So if you're not going to the McDonald's,
yeah,
that's a pretty good leading indicator of what's about to happen.
And they even said,
what are you hearing from retailers?
It's pretty soft. Like,
but you've been saying that for a while. Like, like soft and look, I saw Express went bankrupt.
You put it like this. I talked to the largest kind of bankruptcy company recently, and they said, he smiled and said, we're going to have active second half. I was like, what does that mean exactly? He's like, you know what it means. So basically they're predicting some mega bankruptcies to continue. There's gonna be a lot of store closures.
I want to know what the difference though. Like, I wish someone could do this analysis, like the difference between bankruptcies due to a lot of debt versus just consumer softness.
If it's just consumer softness and you're private, like McDonald's is not going bankrupt.
Of course not.
But these are just profits. Like CVS is a great example. Like CVS reported,
they're down like 13% today.
Yeah. What did they say here? CVS stock falls 13%. Income fell to 1.12 billion. So 50% drop in profit, but it's still profitable, right? Like it's not a company that's losing money. So it's going to weather the storm. But the consumer is clear. Inflation is so real. I was at the Bristol Farms near my house the other day.
So then that means it should come down.
It should.
Meaning if Starbucks, like McDonald's, and CVS, which are probably three of the like largest footprints in America.
But think about it like this. I'll give you even a simpler way. California represents a big portion of those three businesses. California wage increase happened this year for the fast food workers. You had a higher minimum wage. You have insane insurance problems in this fucking state right now.
Yep.
And then you add theft and you add these things. They've had to raise prices. So the consumer is saying, fuck that. Like McDonald's, you're raising prices. So like we basically have these two roads that has to happen. Either prices has to come down, but it's not physically possible given the labor market.
What's the minimum wage increase that California did recently?
I mean, for fast food, it's $21 now, I think.
So I know someone that works at Cheesecake Factory and it gets $16 an hour. How's that possible?
It's not part of the fast food, but he gets tips.
No host.
Go to In-N-Out. They're paying $25 an hour.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating.
Josh, check what the minimum wage for fast food workers are. It's high if you're.
They
a chain.
just raised it, right?
Yeah.
Like a month ago.
Yeah, but I think the problem is that the inflation is the problem. Consumers are just fed up. They can't handle it. Interest rates are staying high. It hasn't deterred spending enough. At some what does it take for Starbucks to give me a deal? When are they giving me a deal? Like, you know who has deals now all the time? Postmates and DoorDash. Mega deals.
And Uber too.
Yes.
I get free Uber rides all the time.
I don't get free Uber. I get like an offer.
They just say like, oh, Uber Cash, you made money or whatever.
So for fast food workers, it's $20 an hour, but the California state minimum wage is $16.
Got it.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Fast food's where it's at.
Fast food's a lot more dangerous than Cheesecake Factory.
I mean, you could get stabbed.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the risk of California at this point.
But I do wonder what gives. So inflation is sticky because people have too much money, or the supply chain is still disrupted and the price of avocado is high.
No, you have to understand. Think about it like this. I'll give you an example. You know, auto insurance is up 22% this year. 22%. So the same pocket of money, if you, let's say a consumer has $1,000 a month to spend, groceries, this, that. If your auto insurance went from $200 to $250.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
That's big. That's $600 out of your fucking annual that would have gone to.
But why are prices in restaurants going up then?
Wages have gone through the roof. You can't, dude, you have to $20. Do you understand there's college educated kids that are taking jobs less than $20 an hour all fucking day?
Yeah, I think the real, it's actually kind of ironic. If you think about the irony of this, the lower skilled worker is making a lot more money.
Yeah.
And the higher skilled worker is making way less money.
Yeah.
So like a Harvard Business School grad today would be lucky to make $150K.
Yeah.
Which is, 10 years ago, they would be making $300,000-$400,000.
Well, I mean, look, I think the top of Harvard Business School is still making $250,000, $300,000.
You're talking top 2%?
Yeah, the top kids.
The ones that are going to the hedge fund or the private equity firm.
Yeah.
But that's not
the
majority
of the class. But you're run-of-the-mill person that's graduating, that's going to like,
Procter & Gamble or whatever.
Whatever, yeah. Those people are not making money like they used to. No chance. And so that changes, a lot, because now that person...
And it also changes, like, why would you go to that school and incur 100... Like, so the thing with, like, these Harvard Business School types of programs... If you're getting the hedge fund job after, your school's already paid for.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like a note. We're going to pay for everything.
It's a box check.
And then you come and work with us.
Yeah.
But the person that's actually coming out of pocket, the math doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it depends. It may make sense after a 10-year horizon. It may not make sense
because you're probably spending, at this point, $225K for 2 years? With room and board, there's tuition's probably $70.
Yeah, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea.
Room and board, vacation, ski trips.
Yeah, the ski trips really add up there. They should include that in the estimated cost. You have to go to Austria 4 times to go skiing.
Yeah, and the lucky thing for them is they'll have unlimited international kids that will keep coming.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to barbell where it's Harvard Business School is going to be like 90% international kids.
Or, yeah, I mean, I think like if I know 2 kids right now there that there's companies paying for it. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. But I'm saying for you to justify it, I know Harvard Business School today carries way more weight internationally.
Yeah.
When you go back to whatever country you live in than it does in America.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know enough companies, no one gives a shit if you went to Harvard Business School. It's like, do you have the skill set or not?
Yeah. You're either good at your job or not. Yeah. I mean, I think, look, I think the bigger question will all revolve around how does the cost, the wages, the inflation, there's like an incredible Tetris that needs to be played for like the economy to just continue functioning. The couple X factors are around organically, I don't know, inflation will come down unless there's mass layoffs. Like that's the only way I see a world where that happens. But if you start
it seems like the problem isn't people's consumer spending. It seems like the cost of just producing things went up.
Yeah, because labor has gone up too much. So it's a vicious cycle. We started paying people more money, which is great, but now things cost way more money and they didn't get as much wages as the increase of...
I don't think anyone's figured out the puzzle.
No, the unfortunate thing, the unwind of 2020 and 2021 is going to take a decade. And we don't know how to fix this problem because we've never did anything like we did in 2020 and 2021.
And then you think about, because of climate change, and this is not a political like conversation, like crops get destroyed because of like insane floods and this and that.
What crops?
I mean, everywhere in California this year.
No, crops seem to be booming.
No, meaning that you can't produce when your entire agriculture is like flooded or contaminated.
So the other theory that people are having on the Starbucks and McDonald's is Ozempic. Because Chipotle is booming. It's booming. Not slowing down.
And Chipotle is expensive.
Yeah. The gym rat goes to Chipotle. So
yeah, maybe the Ozempic thing is funny that they think that could cause if that actually
Walmart said last year they saw a decline in certain snack categories because of Ozempic. McDonald's and Starbucks are like, they're the reasons why you're fat.
I went to In-N-Out Monday night in Westwood, slammed.
Okay, In-N-Out is not McDonald's. You have to understand that, right? First, the scale.
And even ran into people we know.
I mean, we're at In-N-Out once a week. Our kids eat In-N-Out once or twice a week.
It's great food.
It's incredible. But
everyone's getting the shake. They're getting the animal style fries.
In-N-Out is still only accessible to a very small group of people. It's not the chain. It's a treat. It's like going to ice cream. Everyone wants In-N-Out. It's like world renowned. You land at LAX, you go to In-N-Out. That's what you do. I just think, how many people are on Ozempic? Like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million?
It'll probably become like 20, 30 million pretty quickly.
Your appetite gets suppressed.
You don't want the Frappuccino, the 1,500 calorie
You're
drink.
having a cold brew now. And that costs $3.50. So of course there's sales down. I'd be curious to see if foot traffic is down. If foot traffic's the same and people's...
That's a good spread trade. We already called Ozempic and the pharmaceutical companies. I know personal friends that because of this podcast bought Eli Lilly last year.
Yeah.
In 23.
Yeah.
And they made a fortune.
Short everything that sells unhealthy food.
Yeah.
Post. Why would you want 1,000-calorie fucking Starbucks drink?
Yeah, so basically fast food is going to be, and then you think about the real estate impact. Thinking about how much real estate fast food companies.
I don't think they go out of business. Well, maybe like a
but most of these are franchised.
Yeah.
So if you're not making money,
you just shut it down.
You shut it down and you leave.
Yeah.
So office is done. Fast food's done.
Yeah.
In terms of real estate, the trickle down is pretty insane if you think about it.
I'll paint you a crazier picture. We know offices probably need to cut by 50% nationally.
I mean, you see pretty much on Twitter.
I was in San Francisco last week at one of our investors' office.
What part of town did you stay in?
Fidei.
Okay, that's a tough part of town.
Okay, but you know,
by like that Hyatt and all that stuff.
Yes, literally, okay. I stayed at the Hyatt.
Okay,
and so I'm on the office that I was working at is on Mission, right in the corner, water, insane view, whatever. I look to my left, there's a building. I'm like, start looking. It's like 30 floors or whatever. Every other floor completely empty, like not an ounce of furniture, and the floors that were lit was like 4 fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
So put it like this, just based on what we're saying. Office, let's just say 50% were over in terms of supply. Okay? Nationally. That's probably conservative. It's probably more. Let's assume fast food declines. And let's say we're oversupplied. The real estate there is like 20% decline that probably have to see over time. You can make the argument that probably 50% of the colleges shouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah, probably more.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
No one's going to pay $90,000 a year to go to Redlands.
No.
Okay, so think about how many universities are in California, in prime fucking land. Put a condo development where Pepperdine is. It's the hottest place to live in the world.
Yeah, I think Pepperdine's fine. They got a great view.
You think the view, the Jesuits are going to keep that thing going because of the view? But like you start, especially now, like all these donors, they're fucking done.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. Bob Kraft at Columbia. He's like, I'm not giving a goddamn penny anymore. So now you don't have the endowments. It'll take 20 years to run out. It'll take 20, 30 years. These schools become not so good opportunities anymore.
Let's make a prediction. I'm going to Google now what Harvard's endowment is, and what do you think it'll be?
Harvard's not the good one, because Harvard can get money from anyone. Very different. The Jewish donors may stop Harvard. There'll be a million other people that'll still.
So Harvard endowment's $53 billion.
Yeah, hot.
That's insane.
They're not going.
Okay,
anywhere.
give me a college. I'm going to Google it.
Columbia.
Because it's New York City.
Yeah. What's their endowment?
Doesn't come up as quick as Harvard.
Because it's probably not much.
13 billion.
Okay, so what my prediction is this. I just gave you three kind of subsects of life. One is office.
Was your hotel busy in SF?
The hotel, I don't know. That hotel, I've never stayed there. There's like 75,000 rooms. So I wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
I have a great story from the hotel.
I go 6:30 in the morning. I wake up. I was like, I had a meeting at 8. I was like, I want to go to the gym. I'm like, I don't ever get a chance to lift weights. I'm not a member anywhere. So I was like, I want to lift some weights. These fucking SaaS sales motherfuckers. There wasn't a weight, a treadmill, a fucking place to breathe.
So that means it's busy.
Busy. But I just think it's like, that's the crowd, that just like the gym crowd. So I think I don't know if the hotel's so big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Just, the gym is not big enough for the hotel that it was in. I'm there tonight, not that hotel, because we're staying somewhere else. And
you're going back to SF?
Yeah. I think the big thing is that you have these three big things that take up a lot of real estate. That like there could be massive real estate opportunity to repurpose in the next. Like, don't you think someone would love to make Columbia a golf course?
Sure, but who owns the real estate of Columbia? I know
I'm
they're
sure
like
it's the
technical
nonprofit organization of Columbia University. I'm saying Columbia's going to be a tougher one, but I'm saying there's probably a lot of second and third tier education fucking universities.
I mean, I'll tell you firsthand, you know where I live. That elementary school is closing.
Because there's just no demand?
Correct. Everyone goes to private schools.
Yeah.
Do you know how big that campus is?
Yeah. That's insane.
It's a full city block.
Yeah. Of the best neighborhood.
And
guess what's coming to town? Some mansions.
And I actually talked to, we were there, and I was like, what's happening here? And she was like, look, I have no idea. She's like, I think 20 to 30 people are going to come work here, but we have no other repurpose for any of this.
I mean, that's too primo land. They're going to...
It's owned by the city.
Yeah. The city needs money.
What are they going to do? Just like sell it to
blocks, build mansions.
Sell it to a developer?
Yeah, why not? Caruso will buy it and fucking put 17 mansions there.
Or like random Italian restaurants.
They won't allow that. They won't allow any commercial.
Not there.
No chance. It'll have to be homes. They don't even allow apartments. NIMBY? They're not allowing no fucking apartments there.
There's no NIMBY.
Yeah, they're not. There's no chance. It has to be mansions.
Can you imagine 20 to 30 people working in that entire
$1 billion piece of land? There's a lot of land to be bought. That's my point. I think the real estate in America...
Well, you see I'm not in real estate, but I see on Twitter, like these buildings are trading at 90% discounts.
Yeah. Every day there's a building in San Francisco being sold for some ridiculous price.
Yeah. I mean, you look at any metropolitan city, you see a trade. It's just when capitulation happens.
Yeah. And banks are just eating it now. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Winners, losers, content. Who is your winner of the week?
My winner is actually Elon Musk.
Wow. What did he do?
So we were in the hospital the last couple nights, and our son obviously has neuro issues via epilepsy. And while we were so this is how you measure brainwaves today.
Yeah.
You put 26 leads on a brain, and you get connected to a machine, and they start watching like how the brain reacts. And out of nowhere, while we're doing this process, the EEG tech, who we know really well, was like, man, Elon's going to solve this. He's going to solve this. I guarantee it. Like I'm seeing all the stuff.
How does he know? Just he's reading what they're doing.
He's reading what Neuralink's doing. And he's like, this should be so much simpler. Because it's a tough process to get this this stuff on.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm literally like, we have 4 or 5 people. I'm barricading my son and this and that. He's crying, he's screaming. And he's just like, from what I'm reading about Elon and what he's doing with the brain, and obviously he's an expert in this field, he's just optimistic that Elon's going to solve this problem.
Well, I mean, I think this is the thing that like people will never appreciate. Like people, like unfortunately, founders in America that are radical have gotten a bad rap, but they're just, Elon's a very polarizing figure.
Yeah. I mean, if he solves the brain, I don't give a fuck what his political beliefs are.
And that's how you should view the world on everything.
Yeah.
Why are we judging people by their political beliefs? If they fucking do their job, it doesn't matter. The problem is that everything is now muddled, and a guy like Elon, I'm sorry, he's going to figure shit out. Yeah. He will always figure stuff out. So you need to support people like him. Just think about what he did to the automotive industry, space, now the brain. If you let him go with Boring Company, he'll figure out traffic.
Yeah. No, it was really fascinating because this is an individual that basically is not a doctor. He's an EEG technician, but he's studying the brain every day.
Yeah.
And he's reading what Neuralink's doing. And he's like, there's so much more we can do.
Yeah. Which is insane. And it's a private citizen that's doing the most, not a research institution. That's why you have to this is what people don't get. You have to incentivize innovation.
Yeah.
And this is why VCs actually serve a purpose, is because if you give people capital.
Yeah, the moonshot ideas, of course.
Yeah. If you didn't, Ozempic would not have been figured out by the U.S. government.
No, of course not.
They gotta let them make $100 billion, and then everyone's skinny.
Yeah,
everyone lives a few years more. So that's great. That's exciting. My winner of the week is Anthony Edwards.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man.
So
Blockbuster.
Lakers lost. You know me. I move on. I'm a Timberwolves fan now.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. I did not know Michael Jordan is his dad. That was news to me.
That's a conspiracy theory for the record.
I believe it. I started looking at their face. He looks like Michael Jordan with hair.
So I Googled it.
His skin, his fucking everything looks like Michael Jordan. I'm all in on it.
Okay, you can believe it. I know the father is estranged, so there's an absentee father.
Yeah. Yeah. Owns the Charlotte Bobcats.
Didn't he sell?
He sold majority. He still owns. It's unbelievable. I'm all in on this guy. I'm drinking the Anthony Edwards Kool-Aid train. I mean, I saw he got the most gained followers in the last week.
The moxie this kid has. He's 22.
Yeah. And I like that he's just himself. He's just shit talking. So many of the athletes now, because of the media who has scorned all these kids from being themselves. You can't celebrate. Oh, that's not right. You can't flip the bat. You can't do this. Fuck you.
Yeah.
If you are great at what you do, it's the same thing with Elon. If you are great at what you do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. You want to flip everyone off. You want to say whatever you want politically. I don't care. It's the same thing like LeBron. People do you see how he played the other day? Balling.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. And I'm down for Anthony Edwards to do whatever he wants.
No, I think he's a good representation of, I think, a critique of most professional athletes is that they're just media trained.
Yeah.
And they just say the cookie cutter.
Because you're incentivized to do so. Everyone kills you if you're self.
But everyone's celebrating him because he's actually being himself.
Because the pendulum has swung so badly that these guys have become cornballs.
Yeah.
And now I don't want my athlete to be like that.
No, of course. I mean, look, Kobe talked his shit. Jordan talked his shit. Shaq talked his shit.
All those, we like that. I want Larry Bird and Joe Dumars fighting.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man is 22, likely going to be the face of the league.
Yeah.
No one wants Victor Wembanyama to be the face of the league.
He's not American.
Exactly.
Sorry. Yeah. It has to be American. Our football stars have to be American.
They need a win. The Wolves need to beat the Nuggets.
If they beat the Nuggets.
If they beat the Nuggets, then I think he gets elevated.
Jokic doesn't even want to. He didn't care.
No, he doesn't care.
He just
want to be the face.
No. He's not a face either, by the way.
And he's just really great at what he does.
He's good, but like he's just not like he's not selling shoes. Put it like that.
I mean, I think Jamal Murray's from Canada.
Yeah.
Jokic is from Serbia.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No. There's only one flag in my yeah. Yeah.
We didn't go fund me for
yeah. I mean, we only have one flag here, and that's Anthony. Anthony Edwards, the hope of America, is on his back. He's got to win.
I love it.
All right, who's your loser?
CZ.
He got 4 months.
I know. I can't believe that. He might be a winner.
Yeah, he's definitely a winner. I thought this guy got locked up for years. He committed so much crime.
He probably is equivalent to SBF. I think he's stolen 50, 60 billion from what you can gather. And it's the shut up and dribble works.
Yeah.
SBF was very arrogant.
Yeah.
And thumbed his nose at authorities and the court system.
Yep.
And so he got whatever, what is he at, like 40 years? Like he's probably not going to survive post jail. And
I wonder if this is like a political thing.
This guy got 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was like a tip to China.
Yeah. Just say, okay, we got your guy.
We got your guy, but we'll just give him 4 months.
Yeah.
It feels like there's definitely funny business.
Oh, obviously. Everything is funny. It's a joke.
You just want to be on the right side of the funny business.
Yeah. All right. My loser of the week are all the short sellers on Carvana. The shit just went ballistic in after hours.
I didn't see.
Up $30. Stock is now trading at 117.
No way.
Short sellers got fucking crushed. Turned a profit. So I know this is like a hot trade that a lot of people have been trading, and ballistic.
I did not see that.
It just
Jeez. Oh my God. I know I have a listener that's very long, close friend on Carvana.
Yeah. So it's a happy day.
I can't wait to text them after the pod.
Yeah. Content.
There's a Gosling movie releasing May 3rd, which I think is
that the Fall Guy?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ads.
And Emily Blunt, I believe. Yeah.
There's a lot of people in that movie. I see the billboards.
I don't know if I think it's satirical. I have no idea. But I just love Gosling.
I'm a big Gosling guy.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. My content is around music. I got 2 songs for you. One is the Kendrick Lamar diss.
Euphoria.
Incredible content. I mean, if you haven't listened to it, the key piece to it is the end of the song, which I cannot repeat. But
it's also musically just a really great song. Even if you don't care about the beef.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to pick a side or whatever. Like,
it's unbelievable because it's very clever. The thing I like about Drake and Kendrick's beef is they're both very clever. And I think that's what makes it so good. The way they like think about things, they're just so like poetic about it that it just like the way Kendrick does all the poetic things and does everything right. And at the end, it's the funniest ending. And it's culturally a like kind of a death blow ending because of like race issues.
I would recommend anyone that is interested in the song to go on Rap Genius and actually understand all the lyrics.
Do the homework. Okay.
Do the homework. Like I listened to the song. I understood like probably 20% of the diss.
I got to do my homework on it.
It's like how creative he is and how clever it is. I know you got to go. So
and the last one was another song. My guy Shabuzi.
I don't even know who that is.
Shabuzi is the hottest artist in the world.
Who's Shabuzi?
Dude, this is if you could ever think about an industry plant, this would be what a plant would be. But it's not, I don't think it's a plant. Artist, been around 10 years. Nigerian American dude, country singer. He has a song called Tipsy, Bar at Tipsy. I don't know what it's called, whatever. It's, I think, the number 2 song on Spotify. It's like streaming like 6, 7, 8 million streams a day. I saw it on people's Instagram at Stagecoach. Everyone was posting Shabuzi. I was like, oh, this guy, it kind of sounds like Jaquan Tipsy, but in a country version of it. I listened to the song. It's the catchiest fucking song. This is going to be the biggest. This is going to be like Morgan Wallen big. And if you're running country music and you wanted to conspire to get America to listen to country, you could not have picked a better artist and a better song. This cool black dude singing this very catchy song, unbelievable plant, if that's what's happening.
I want to say one thing about just my social media content that I consume. I saw everyone at Stagecoach.
Yeah, because of your age, you're old.
Is that it?
The oldies were there.
All the oldies?
Yeah, 30 plus was Stagecoach.
Because my entire social media was people at Stagecoach.
I agree. Shabuzi. Shabuzi's the hottest artist.
And Post Malone looked great.
Yeah. He ain't going to McDonald's anymore, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's on
whatever Ozempic he's on.
Yeah, Mongovi. What's it called?
Wegovy.
No, isn't there an M?
Monjuro,
yeah.
All right, let's head over to some shout outs and sail you off into the weekend.
All right, shout out from John G. Kind of a shout out, kind of not. I was at Coachella for the weekend and the vibes were immaculate. Even ran into number 11, the GOAT of Anand's college years, Matt Leinart. Shout out to Matt Leinart. General consensus, America Pride is up. Reggie has a Heisman again, and it's like 2005 all over again, baby. Fight on. So I'm assuming he went to SC. All right, we'll see you on Sunday. Peace.